Hi
Hi
guys.
guys. So welcome back to the Empress channel. And today, as you can see, guys, I'm joined here by my wonderful husband.
Yeah.
And in our last video, we spoke. I was explaining to you guys about my experience with hormonal imbalance issues, and we only spoke up to where I told you guys uh, the problem stopped when I got my firstborn, but I did not explain to you guys that the problem actually continued before getting the firstborn. So my husband is here today to explain on a man's perspective on how it affected him as a man, and how other men can be encouraged as well when they are experiencing the same with their wives. Yeah. So before he comes in, probably I can explain. I can mention to you that to manage the situation, the doctor had prescribed, had put me on Femiplan. These are kind of a family planning meds uh, that I should that I was supposed to take for 6 months, and he had mentioned that after those 6 months, once I'm done with those 6 months of Femiplan, I should think of uh, conception. So um, that is something that wasn't really in our plans, since we had other plans, for example, uh, dowry things and wedding. Uh, so it was really not part of what we had in plan. So um, and my hubby here uh, will explain to you guys some of the things that he is my boyfriend then, and yeah, as a man, what he went through, and his emotional status at that particular time. So babe, probably you can start from where I mentioned to you. I called you and told you that this is what is happening to me. I'm bleeding profusely, and that is, that was something new to you. So what was going through your mind at that particular time?
I remember when you called and you told me that you're bleeding. One of the things I was wondering is whether this is a normal thing. So I still kept on asking, are you sure it's not normal? Are you sure this is not one of those cycles that probably go over and above the normal one and therefore they're going to go down? But then she was very convinced that this is something that was crazy because she was using more pads than normal. She was exchanging them so many times. And I remember at that particular moment, not only had she called me, but she had also called her mother, who also went to her place. So I boarded the matatu and went to her place. And I remember the first thing I saw when I looked at her is that she was pale. So for those people who know her, you'll know she's a very bubbly girl, and therefore, when I noted her face being pale, I now freaked out. I knew something was wrong, and she was not okay. So I was scared. That was the first feeling that I had.
Yeah, so and there was this time, the first time you were called from work. um I remember you found us in hospital. uh Myself, I couldn't tell that it had happened, but I had fainted at work, and he had to be called from work once I gained conscious, because I gave out my phone to a friend who called my boyfriend, then him, yeah. And I just wonder, because we've never had this conversation before, and I just want to know how what was going through your mind at that particular time, knowing that, what, this is now really happening.
What was going in my mind? Wow. So I get a call from my girlfriend So when I saw the call, I saw, it's her, and I'm like, hi, babe. And then somebody else is on the other side of the phone, and she's, hi, are you Justin? And I'm like, yes. So, do you know Julie? Those are one of those weird questions that you asked, and you know that person, and I'm like, yes, I do. What's going on? Julie fainted while she was at work. We had rushed her to hospital, and I was like, which hospital? Where are you guys? So you become frantic, and I remember taking a matatu, going straight. I think you were taken to that Aga Khan,
Yeah.
and I was there. Oh my! I'm so sorry for those conductors because I was really yelling and trying to tell them, please, can we go? Can we rush? And all that. And these occurrences also spilled over when we got married. And now that she has brought that up, I also would like to highlight another one that happened. And at least the first one, when you're not married, you were in the office and you were taken to the hospital. Now, the second one, she had gone to town to buy, I don't know, makeup. She had gone to buy makeup. So I knew she was in town. And then the next thing, again, a call from a stranger. And that lady told me, uh, if you know the owner of this phone, please note, ameanguka. Ameanguka town. Now imagine getting a call from a stranger anakwambia, your lady, she has fallen in town, she's fallen down in town, she doesn't know anyone, she's confused. Actually, they're trying to, to, because it was more of a partial fainting, I assume, because I went and asked so many questions. And at that particular moment, I was in a meeting. And I used to do, well, one of the things I always do is whenever I get a call from my wife, even if I'm in a meeting, I always pick up. So, and I think it's because of such occurrences. So I remember telling my boss, I have to go. Something has come up, my wife has fallen down in town. First of all, I need to figure out where in town, and two, I need to find her. So our lady here had fallen down along Kimathi Street. Imagine. She's even thankful that she had her clothes on, because you never know.
So, no, it was actually Mama Ngina.
Mama Ngina.
Yeah, because the last thing I could remember is I was at Super Cosmetic. So yes.
Yeah. I think it's one of the attendants there who called.
Yes, yes.
May God bless you. It was a very wise thing that you did. So, though I freaked out, I found her. And at that particular moment, because you see, before you maneuver along the roads, it had taken a bit of time, and she had gained her consciousness, but then she was very weak. So, again, I had to take her from that place, take her again to hospital, and this time round, at least, because in between he had noted that she, having bled over and over, she had become anemic. So we also even under a different kind of diet, and therefore at this point we were just freaking out that probably the level of blood has not even gone lower than what it was before. And yeah, so these experiences have been hard. And from a man's perspective, it means now from any point that you see her call, you have to pick. Secondly, you have to start asking yourself, is she okay? You have to be calling. At times, when you're newlyweds, you call to ask, hey, babe, how you doing? How's your day? Mine was purely health. Babe, are you feeling okay? Are you sure? Is your fever, are you getting a fever? So it was a crazy period. Yes.
So lastly, maybe we can explain to other men what we experienced, but in this case, more effect and more focus on your side as a man.
Yeah.
Sexually.
Okay. Sexually, wow. So I'll explain in two dimensions. One, what she hadn't explained is just before we got married, when she, sorry, when she experienced this for the first time, one of the measures she was told, as she had outlined, is to take this, to be under the family plan. pills. So what that did, it did manage, but she gained weight. And remember, one of the things that you look in a girl, other than character and personality, is also the physique. You have to. There are some things that attract you. So it started changing, and that has a way of playing with your psychology and how attracted you are to this person. But that, at least considering that I knew it was a medical result, I that did not deter me from being involved, for loving her and all that. But then the second one, which is now the crazy one, and remember, newlyweds, we're starting to live together, and she's having this, excessive bleeding. It definitely affected our sexual life. So, and as much as in deep down you remember it's a medical issue, now this thing is taking 2 weeks. Yeah, so she will bleed for 2 weeks. She's under these Supermax pads. And here's now the interesting part, to just explain how excessive the bleeding was. She was changing these Supermax pads after every 30 minutes. Also, I think in 1 hour she'll take like three pads, because I think she'll wear two per round. So at any one point she'll wear two, and then after 30 minutes she has to change. So it was not a good thing to experience. I can imagine for her it was even worse and uncomfortable. So for 2 weeks you're not having, and then you're not having any sex, and then there's also some spillover when now it becomes emotional for her, so you're not even connecting. So the effect that it had, and the fact that I was not getting my conjugal rights, and when it starts going 2 weeks, a month and a half, 2 months, it started now becoming frustrating. And that was the one of the biggest challenges that we faced due to that situation or that condition that she was facing, and that was affecting our relationship. So at a selfish level, it was very frustrating because I was not getting my conjugal rights. But then on the mental, emotional, and medical side, it was always freaking. So I was always scared, trying to wonder, I'm going to lose the love of my life. Are we not going to have babies? And I wanted babies. So, and I knew she also wanted. So, yes. So that is how it was.
Wow. That is inspiring to hear, even from him. So, guys out there, you've had, I'm sure most of you or some of you are going through the same thing. Probably you've not shared it, you've not sat down with your wife to know what exactly she's experiencing, and probably she's experiencing the same thing. Get to know what your wife is going through. Probably you're not getting your conjugal rights because it is happening and it is real, and it affects the mental health of your wife.
Yeah.
It affects their emotions. Emotions are all over because their hormones are all over.
Yeah.
So they have mood swings. They do not understand themselves anymore, all those kind of things. So get to understand your person. I think by now you understand me better.
Yes, I do.
You understand when things have changed, and we are able to even sort things out with a very sober mind. Yeah. So thank you so much for explaining.
Yeah, and also outline that men, not only does our role go up to understand, it goes even further than that, in support.
Yeah.
Support her, because she's not only having a physical change,
Yeah.
she's also having an emotional and mental change.
Exactly.
And if you don't support, you might even lose her mentally. Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. And mental health is a real issue right now. And so let's support each other. So stay tuned, because in our next video we are going to explain even more stuff that we have gone through.
Yeah.
We're going to explain more experiences, real experiences that we have gone through, and it is going to inspire you. It's going to inspire someone else out there. So
Subscribe.
watch the entire video to the end, share with your friends, because there's someone out there who really wants to hear this,
Yeah.
to get to know that it is actually something that happens to other people.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for staying tuned with us, and we love you so much. Continue watching, continue supporting us, and God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.